recently, I was interviewed by a journalist from Republican newspaper, and he asked me whether I am intending to come back to diplomatic sphere. Honestly, I don't know, because it's so hard to plan something concretely in our country. But it's possible. Sometimes I think more than possible, because I love diplomacy. Anyway, my topic is diplomacy, unfinished business. Because I hope that we will live a long time, and I'm still young, and I hope that sometimes I can serve in a diplomatic sphere for the interest of our nation, our country. So, about career. So first, my advice from my own experience. I think bold dream is very important. Because in my young age, when I was studying at school, maybe I had a dream to be a diplomat. But it was quite bold dream for me because I grew up in a remote rural place. And over there it was so hard to learn other language than Kyrgyz. I spoke only in Kyrgyz language. Even Russian for me was like a big problem. English and Russian for me was the same problem because I didn't speak both of them. Without knowing a foreign language, it's impossible to imagine to work in a diplomatic service, diplomatic sphere. But still, I had a dream. I wanted to become a diplomat. I wanted to work for Foreign Affairs Ministry. And you know, the second step, you should act. Dreaming is not enough to get success. And in 2005, there was Kyrgyz Revolution, the first Kyrgyz Revolution, and my mother, she was listening to the radio, and she said once that Foreign Affairs Minister Rosa Otunbayeva said, we need some cadres, some specialists who speak Kyrgyz language very well. And I made very bold, very decisive step. I left my position at Ostet University. I was teaching at the same time. I was an advisor of the rector, president of the university. I just left. I took vacation for 10 days and I moved to Bishkek. And I gave only 10 days for myself to solve my own problem. And I said, if I cannot solve my problem and get position in Foreign Affairs Minister, I will come back. And I made very important conclusion. Future never comes. Future never comes. If you plan, please set off or just define time framework. Otherwise, your dream stays as a dream, not in a reality. Therefore, I moved to Bishkek and I gave a time framework for myself only for 10 days. And in that days, it was so hard to meet our foreign ministry because Rosa Otunbayeva was the first time she was, the first day she was in Tashkent, in Uzbekistan. The second day she was in Kazakhstan, something like that. In the third day maybe in Tajikistan. Why? Because our new authorities, they wanted to get acknowledgement from our partners, our neighbor countries. And of course, it was so hard, but it was possible. I was able to meet Ms. Otunbayeva within 10 days, even it was very, very hard. And she asked me to write some letter. She wanted to talk me orally. And I wrote my letter in Kyrgyz language, and I did my best. I'm not a writer, now I'm an author of 5 books, but at that time I had only 1 book, and I did my best. She accepted to the position in a Foreign Affairs Ministry, just thanks to my letter. She liked so much, and even she didn't talk to me. She just said, I read your letter, I liked so much. I don't have time to talk to you. Please talk to my deputy, and if he will decide, I will talk to him also. And so I started to work for Foreign Affairs Ministry. And the third conclusion, third advice from me, you know, never afraid of making some decisive step. And if you are humiliated, if you have a low position, even the lowest position, maybe it's for the, better. I got position, but it was the lowest one in the press service of Foreign Affairs Ministry. And it seemed to me that diplomats tend to be a bit arrogant. they didn't want to talk to me and to keep in touch with me. They were ordering something, and it was kind of unequal relation between me and between them. And the humiliation means that you have a good future. Never give up, never be sad for that, because the more you keep yourself low, in the future you might get the highest position. Because it has a good reason, because they know they feel better than me, much better. And I was kind of a senpai, kohae in Japan. I was kind of, they were teachers, and I was kind of, learning from them. Therefore, I was so polite, so polite, so polite. Even if they were scolding me and they were so rude to me, I just tried to learn something from them. And the second, my very important decision, I tried to get access to the ministry, because I had a low position, and between me and the minister there was another position, the head of our department. And I tried to work, I did my best in order to get access to the minister. And one day my department director said that, okay, you can talk to her directly. And from now, from our department, you will be in touch with the ministry. And it gave me a very nice opportunity. And I was working very hard, very hard, very hard. And Minister Otumbayeva somehow noticed me. And when our director of our department left her position in order to work in our embassy in Malaysia, suddenly Otumbayeva suggested to me to be a director of the department. Could you imagine? And it was just within 3 months. It was kind of, unbelievable career development. And I can advise one thing. In order to be noticed by the leader, by the head, you should be in your place every time. Because sometimes, in order to solve some problems or to get some information, the head looks for someone. And if you are staying in your place and she finds you in your place every time, one day she gets used to you. And one day she invited me and she started to give personal tasks. Sometimes she started to take me to the, foreign visits to Tajikistan, after that to New York, to other countries. And within 3 months I was able to become the director of department. But within 3 months I was scolded by so many people. And my next advice, please be kind and always keep positive relationship with everyone, even if they are too bad to you. Because your future, your work is related to them. And they are also working for the nation interest. All of them became my friends because it was my principle, good interaction. I was kind of bridge between journalists, mass media outlets, and our colleagues. And our colleagues, they're kind of not very open people. Why? Foreign Affairs Ministry is political structure, political department. And you are expected to be kind of, very modest and not very talkative and sociable. You have many secret information which is related to the security of the nation, of the country. Now I found out this one, but still journalists tend to be very persistent, and they ask me a lot of information, and our colleagues did want to give, and it made me very experienced. Day by day. And later I went to Japan to work and to study. I came back, but thanks to my experience in Foreign Affairs Ministry, President Administration, President Office invited me to work as the deputy of the head of the department. And it was a good career development for me. Therefore, my first advice, dear students, dear younger, my compatriots, you should have bold dreams and act right now and here. Because time is kind of, if you say tomorrow, it lies. Tomorrow kind of, you will lose time and your life is kind of very limited. And one day you might regret. So, and I like diplomacy. And there are some students, even I know them, I see them here, who want to make diplomatic career. And please start today and here. And please take into consideration some of my advice.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you very much.